Hello, my people, and yes, you are my people. I have a disturbing story here today that I ran upon, and it's man, it's really disturbing to me. And it says 1,000,000 children arrested, and this story goes to say that they have 957,000 arrests among children younger than 15 in the past 5 years in the United States, FBI statistics show. Based on the agency's annual crime reports in the United States, including its latest 2018 numbers released Monday, in 2018 there were 1,324 arrests in that age group for rape, 7,415 arrests for aggravated assault, and 20,000 arrests for larceny and theft, data shows. The number of arrests of children under 15 has dropped consistently since 2014, the data show. Violent crime in the U.S. has dropped 2 years in a row. Violent crime across the country has also declined. The national violent crime rate fell 3.9% compared to 2017, according to the FBI. That includes murder and non-negligent manslaughter offenses, which dropped 6.2% compared to 2017. But rape offenses increased by 2.7%. Property crimes dropped from 6.3% from 2017. There were about 1,206,000 violent crimes in 2018 nationwide, the FBI said. And Brennan Center for Justice called that new data consistent with trends first observed in Brennan Center crime analysis studying America's largest cities. They're saying this is a downward trend, but to me, the number, said New York City's murder rate increased by less than 1%, making it essentially the same as 2017. But that number of 957,892 arrests among children younger than 15, I find that to be a real disturbing number, and it really doesn't break down the how this thing goes as far as like broken down to a racial situation of whether it was 20% black, 20% white, 20% Hispanic, or whatever. It doesn't break it down like that. This just came out the other day, and I'm going to try to. This is like 7 hours ago. This report came out, and I want to try to find out if it's any other. Matter of fact, let me look that up now. While we're here, and let me see if I can come up with something. This is a real disturbing number. Let's see if I can find something here. Oh, bear with me here. That's my tablet is moving a little bit slow. Mass incarceration, racial disparities in youth commitments, youth here, that's the story I want to see. Youth sentencing. It's a youth sentencing project, and I want to see exactly what they have to say about it. This one is going back a little bit further. But this one states that every state witnessed a drop in its commitment rate, and that's that's arrests and incarcerations, including 19 states where the commitment rates fell to more than half. Both white youth and youth of color attained substantially lower commitment rates over the last 10 years. For white juveniles, the rate fell by 51%, 140 to 69 per 100,000. Black juveniles fell 43%, 519 down to 294 per 100,000. The combined effect was to increase the commitment disparity over the decade. The commitment rate for Hispanic juveniles fell by 52% from 230 to 111 per 100,000. And the commitment rate for American Indian juveniles decreased by 28%, down from 345 to 254 per 100,000. Black juveniles were more than 4 times as likely to be committed as white juveniles. American Indian juveniles were more than 3 times as likely, and Hispanic juveniles were 61% more likely to be convicted. Another measurement of disproportionate minority confinement is to compare the committed population to the population of American youth. Slightly more than 16% of youth are African American. They were committed juveniles who were African American grew from 38% to 40%. Roughly 56% of all American youth are white, non-Hispanic. The percentage of commitment juveniles who were white fell from 39% to 32%. So the white juvenile incarceration rate went down from 39% to 32%, but the African American youth juvenile commitment increased from 38% to 40%, so it went up 2%. So that's pretty crazy. White juvenile arrest rates, already half that of black juveniles, fell, while black juveniles arrest rates fell by 31%. White juvenile arrest rates went down 49%. While the levels in the juvenile justice system are replete with disparate outcomes, most of the points of contact are no more disparate than they were 10 years prior. The growth in commitment disparities begins with the growth in arrest disparities. So that means if you have a difference in the arrest records, the people that you arrest, the numbers of kids that you arrest. So let's say you're arresting 49% of your black kids, but you're only arresting 20% of the white kids that do crimes. And that's where your disparity comes in as far as your convictions. As far as the time that they're getting. So what they're doing is they're not arresting these white kids for the crimes that they're doing, and they pretty much slap them on the wrist and they letting them go, but they are incarcerating the black, Hispanic, and Native American, and that would be your Indians here in the United States. So it's business as usual. Oh boy, that's real disturbing. Here we go. A Miami-Dade transit driver might as well have a cape and an S on front. And her name is LaRonda Marshall. Good old LaRonda. LaRonda is a lifesaver. She says a bus driver helped save the life for the 3rd time in her career. So she's a bus driver here. Recently, Marshall's quick actions saved the life of one of her passengers, a man who was slumped in his seat and appeared to be sick. Her bosses at the county's Department of Transportation and Public Works said. It's Miami. This is in Miami. Marshall was driving the 77 bus near Northwest 103rd Street and 7th Avenue when a passenger alerted her to the ill man. The driver pulled over and called headquarters for help, then rushed to the aid to try to arouse him, but he wasn't responding. With the help of other passengers, Marshall laid him on the floor and began CPR. She didn't stop pressing his chest until police and paramedics arrived. I have a love for people and my instinct is to jump in and help. The man survived. Paramedics said that if Marshall hadn't jumped into the action, he wouldn't have made it. The paramedics told me he would have passed away by the time she got to the end of the bus line, where she got to get to the end of her route. In November, Marshall saw a pedestrian lying in the road after being hit by a car. She parked the bus in a way to protect the man from further injury and then stayed to comfort him until help arrived. A month later, Marshall saw a little girl alone in the middle of the street. She quickly grabbed the child onto a bus to keep her safe. Marshall goes above and beyond her duties, said Alice Bravo, director of Transit Department. We're extremely proud and are grateful for her professional heroism and her willingness to save others, even in challenging situations. And I'm proud of her. Let's see if we can get her picture here. My sister out there saving lives. Hey, we already know we all super. Keep an eye on your kids, folks. And congratulations to Marshall, saving lives, out there doing her thing, saving people. She needs a Medal of Honor.